Most Canadians spend 30 or 40 years building towards retirement. And then when they finally get there, they waste the best part of it. Not because they ran out of money, not because something went wrong, but because of a handful of completely avoidable mistakes that nobody warned them about. Mistakes that quietly cost them years they can never get back. I've sat across from hundreds of Canadians at this exact stage of life. And the people who get retirement right are not the ones always with the most money. They're the ones who understood these mistakes so they could avoid them. Today, I'm going to walk you through the ones I see most often. And I want to warn you, the last one is the one almost no one sees coming. Hi, I'm Stefano Francesca, Certified Financial Planner Professional and Senior Wealth Advisor at Next Step Wealth Management with IPC Securities Corporation. Let's get into it. If you find this helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe. It genuinely helps more Canadians find this content. Mistake 1, the one more year trap. This is the one I see most often, and it's the one that costs people the most. It usually sounds like this. I'll retire when the mortgage is paid off. I'll retire when the kids are done school. I'll retire when the market recovers. I'll retire next year. And next year comes, and there's always another reason. Here's what most people don't realize. You may not get to choose when you retire. According to a 2024 Manulife study, 47% of Canadian retirees ended their careers earlier than they had planned. Not because they were ready, but because of health issues, family circumstances, or factors outside of their control. Nearly half. That means the one more year plan may not work out the way you intended nearly as often as people assume. And here's what that coin flip is really costing you. The go-go years of retirement are finite. Most Canadians have roughly 10 to 15 years where they are genuinely healthy, mobile, and able to do the things that they've been saving for. Travel, grandkids, hobbies, sports, the bucket list items that require energy and presence. If you burn 3 or 4 of those years waiting, working longer than you actually needed to, that time does not come back, ever. The antidote to this one more year trap is not courage. It's a plan that shows you the exact number. When you know your income, where it comes from, and how long it lasts, the question stops being, can I retire? And becomes either, what do I need to do next? Or what am I waiting for? That's the shift, and it changes everything. Mistake 2, holding the money too close to your chest. This one surprises people when I bring it up, because it's not about spending recklessly. It's about spending too little. For most of your working life, the goal was to make the number go up. Save more, grow the portfolio, watch the balance increase. That mindset is healthy during accumulation. In retirement, it quietly destroys the years you worked hardest to reach. Here's what I see happen. Someone retires. They have the money, the plan works, but watching the account balance go down, even when it's supposed to, feels deeply wrong. So they hold back. They put off the trip. They hesitate on the renovation. They wait until they feel more certain, and they spend their healthiest, most active years living below what they could have. I've watched people do this for 3, 4, 5 years, waiting to feel ready. And then life changes. Health, energy, mobility, and the window quietly closes. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Canadians want to retire at 64 on average, but nearly half of them lack the confidence to actually do it when they planned, and the retirement age keeps creeping later because of it. For many, it's not a savings problem. It's a certainty problem. The solution is a written plan that gives you a specific number, what you can spend each year, so you can use that money freely without guilt, because the math is right in front of you. Mistake 3, letting emotions make the expensive decisions. Retirement is full of financial decisions, and I don't mean knee-jerk reactions to market corrections, though we'll get there. I mean the slow, quiet decisions. The one that's made at the kitchen table after watching the news. When interest rates move and someone wonders if they should shift everything to GICs. When headlines about tariffs or political uncertainty create a feeling that something needs to happen right now. That feeling is expensive. It shows up as market timing, pulling money out during a correction, missing the recovery, paying unnecessary tax, and carrying the stress of the decision for months. But it also shows up as overcaution, moving to cash too early, underinvesting because something feels uncertain, letting fear set the strategy. The people who navigate the best are not the ones who read more financial news, check their statements daily, or have a stock market ticker across their multiple computer screens. They're the ones who trust a written income plan enough to ask one simple question when anxiety hits. Does this change my plan? If the plan was built correctly, the answer is usually no. The income still flows, The TFSA is still there. The CPP and OAS are still indexed. The discomfort is real, but no major type of decision needs to be made. Without that plan, every headline feels like a threat. And those reactions, made over 25 to 30 years of retirement, compound in ways that are very hard to recover from. Mistake 4, not knowing where the money is actually coming from. I want you to picture something. You retire. Month 1 arrives, and you realize you actually don't know which account to pull from. You don't know whether drawing from your RSP now will push you into a higher bracket later. You don't know when to start CPP or whether starting it later actually helps your specific situation. You don't know what happens when RIF withdrawals kick in and force income you weren't planning for. You're not aware of how withholding tax affects your cash flow. This is not a rare situation. It's one of the most common things I see. According to IG Wealth Management's 2025 research, 1 in 3 non-retired Canadians expect to delay retirement due to financial necessity. And a meaningful part of that group could retire. Their numbers actually work, but they don't know that because no one has ever laid it out clearly. The sequence of your income in retirement, which accounts you draw from, in what order, at what tax rate, and when government benefits turn on determines how much of your money you actually get to keep. Get it right, and you pay less tax, avoid benefit clawbacks, and leave more to the people you care about. You can get it wrong, and you may end up paying significantly more tax than necessary or having much less to transfer to your beneficiaries. This is the kind of planning that doesn't happen in a 1-hour bank appointment. It's the foundation that everything else in retirement is built on. Mistake 5, arriving at retirement without a written plan. I saved this one for last because it's not really a separate mistake. It's the reason all 4 of the others happen. Every mistake I've described has the same root cause, no written plan. And I want to be specific about what I mean. Not a rough sense of what your accounts hold. Not a conversation you had with someone at a branch. A document, your document, customized for your situation that shows exactly what your income sources are, when they turn on, at what tax rate, how long the money lasts under different scenarios, and what you can spend each year without running out. When that plan exists, the 1 more year trap loses its grip because you know the number. The underspending stops because the math is right in front of you. The emotional decisions get easier because you have something to test every headline against. The tax picture gets optimized because the sequence was designed, not guessed at. Retirement is, in my experience, about 80% psychological and 20% financial. But the 20% is what makes the 80% possible. The confidence, the freedom, the ability to actually enjoy what you spent your entire career building. None of that holds without the foundation underneath it. The Canadians who get retirement right are not always the ones with the most money. They're the ones who built the plan before they needed it. If you recognize yourself in any of what we covered today, the waiting, the hesitation to spend, the uncertainty about where the income comes from, not understanding your tax situation, it's not a character flaw. It's an information gap, and it's completely fixable. But the window to fix it is while the decisions are still yours to make. If you're within 5 to 10 years of retirement and you want a real wealth management strategy, one that's not only about investment products, but is a comprehensive approach that includes a retirement income plan, one that shows you exactly when you can retire, what you can spend, where the income comes from, and how to keep more of it, click the link in the description to book a consultation to learn more about our Next Step Wealth Management service. Let's take the next step.